Well, apparently I forgot to schedule a live, so I'm just doing it now on the fly. Well, these things are fun. We're figuring all of this stuff out as we go, trying to manage all these different online resources. I will be starting at 11:11. Okay, it's 11:11, and this is another version of Blessings from the Dragon. And apologies for the herky jerky start here. Somehow or other, I didn't schedule a live stream in advance, so we just stood one up quickly. I'm Stephen the Channeler,
This is Stephanie. Hello.
and we are here once again for Blessings from the Dragon. The difference between our Saturday and our Wednesday lives is that the Saturday Live is questions and clarifications and things that our participants want to know about working with generally working with dragon energies. And on Wednesdays, Jadon Se will do more of a reading for everyone present, and then either clarifications of that reading or the energies that are happening, or perhaps spontaneous activations or guidance, etc. A little less personal, a little less questions based. However, we will open it up for questions and clarifications as to what's going on in the world right now. So hopefully our audio is good and everything is working. Again, apologies for not scheduling this one in advance, but guys always just gather and see what's going on at the time of, and if we've forgotten to pre-schedule a live, we'll stand one up impromptu like we did here. So we have classes, a bunch of classes. Well, let's just do announcements. Tomorrow we are having a 1-day, 2-hour class on Lauren Gailey's New Earth One network. She does a lot of interviews of interesting people and does master classes and lets people put on their own classes on her network. And so it's just a way for us to open up to a broader audience of light workers. And so we're doing an abbreviated version of our level 1 classes. It's a master class called Introduction to Dragon Energies, and Jadon Se will be putting it on. There is still time to sign up if you want to do a 2-hour class. I believe it's $49 for the 2-hour class, and it's done through the New Earth One network. So there's a link below in the description of this video here, and perhaps we will figure out a way of posting that as well without being too disruptive. Anyway, you just go down to the description. That's probably the easiest way to do this. And if Aaron, if you're here, if you wouldn't mind putting that link from the description of this live in the chat, that would be lovely. Okay, very good. Are there any other announcements? We have broken through the beaver dam at the Apple Store. Apple is now has waived the restriction about Oracle decks being too saturated. We've been going back and forth reasoning with them about how, well, if you have a category that's too saturated, why don't you just take an older one out that's underperforming for every new one that comes in, and that way fresh new ideas can come in, and your categories that are saturated will still have new things coming in. And anyway, they agreed with us, so they've allowed us past that hurdle, and now we're just working through some technical stuff about the audio settings, and looks like we will be, fingers crossed, up on the Apple Store with our app soon. So yay, that's I guess persistence pays off. We didn't give up. We really want to bring this to you guys. So very good. There is, what else? The classes for December, the level 1 Working with Dragon Energy classes. That's a 4-week, 2 hours per class, so 8 hours of class time. Introduction, well, it's not introduction, it's level 1 class of Working with Dragon Energies, and that's calling in your personal dragon, working with the dragon grid, dragon lines, and how to work with that. It goes into realm bridging and timeline jumping. Those two subjects are kind of pretty deep, and but it definitely introduces you into how to do your timeline jumping and how to realm bridge, which is it's a head scratcher for those of you who haven't heard of this, but I think many of you have. And then there's also dragon healing, not modalities so much, but more like dragon healing outlook, how healing truly works, and how to tap into a more direct form of healing and work with your own body's innate intelligence and all of that. So there's a lot of very valuable information and foundations on how dragons see time and eternity, and connected lifetimes, not past lifetimes, but connected lifetimes, and what is a soul and all of this. So it's a great class. There's time still to sign up for it. It starts in a couple of days. It starts on December 7th. So there's still time to sign up for that. If you want to sign up for the level 1 class, it's just go to jadonse.com. It's JADONSE.com and look for the information on classes. Let's see. I think that's it for announcements. And Stephanie, did you have anything for everyone?
Nope, not at this time.
Okay. So without much further ado, I guess we will go into channel and see what Jadon Se has to say. Okay, very good. I am Jadon Se, Golden Dragon of the Third Arc of Consciousness, and this is Blessings from the Dragon. We meet here every Wednesday to do activations, blessings, a general reading for those who have gathered and have given permission to have their energetic incorporated into the reading. And we speak of energies that are in the world at this time, what is happening. Dear ones, this is a time where so many of you have come through, let us say, one heck of a 2025, as this year, in your way of reckoning, is winding to a close, and we approach the winter solstice in a couple of weeks. Dear ones, it is a time, let us say, to reflect within. So many of the burdens you have carried, you have worked through, let go of, put lovingly where they belong. There are, of course, still some burdens that some of you are carrying, and you can continue to look at these, fold them up, and put them in the drawer, so to speak, lovingly. And there has also been a great shift in your world, in the way the powers that be operate. Dear ones, many of you do not know that this is a new time, that this is a new era. It has already begun. It is a little bit of a stealth beginning, let us say. Your entire financial system has shifted, dear ones. There is no longer money being invented out of nothingness for every debt that is created. They are no longer just numbers that are being entered in a computer screen, which creates this debt of bubble money, you might say. This is no longer possible under this new system that is in operation today. And dear ones, the world has not caught up to this yet. There is a domino effect. This is only one example, this monetary system. There are other examples we will go into. The money one is big, though, because these systems of financial abundance have been stacked against you, so to speak, for these dark times and the times of density that we are emerging from, times of lack. We will just call it the age of lack is over, for there is no longer the capability that banks once had to do a loan and just say, we are lending you $2,000, and this is just a number that's entered into our computer that our bank is letting you use 2,000 of our dollars that were just invented out of nothingness. Yes, dear ones, this is how fractional reserve lending used to work. They only needed to keep a fraction of what anyone might withdraw from the bank at a given moment on hand, and so they were able to just invent the rest, loan out money that did not even exist. Many did not know about this. This was your system of finance until about a week ago, dear ones, and this is no longer possible. The new systems do not allow for this, and because of that, There are many who are waking up to the fact that their mortgages have been bought and sold with this phony money, and that the original bank that loaned them this funny money to begin with is not even the one who holds their current mortgage. And so many things are going to unravel, let us say. It is happening with ease and grace, and there is good reason not to do this abruptly. We do not wish for panic to occur in this your world. However, just know we have passed the point of no return. In your world, your golden age, the systems of finance are now based upon real tangible assets, let us say. They are no longer just numbers entered into a computer screen. And this is good news, dear ones, for the age of debt is over. The age of trading your life force and time for these numbers on the screen, so to speak, will be coming to a close. It is already happening. All of these new realities are, let us just say, there is a domino effect, and the dominoes have begun to fall. The first ones fall very slowly. It is a thud, thud, and then eventually it will pick up pace, and it will be obvious to everyone that this is a new time. This is simply your financial system. There are so many developments happening. Long suppressed technologies, dear ones, are now coming to light, finally being released, finally being deployed into society. There will be an abundance of energy. It will be so affordable as to nearly be free. And this does not violate any laws of thermodynamics. It is just that there are far better sources of energy available that have been suppressed by those who wanted to charge everyone for the old legacy systems and keep them on this treadmill of having to pay high amounts of money for their heating bills and cooling and all of these other things, the lights on and appliances in their homes. And dear ones, there is so much more coming. It is all, let us say, the log jam has broken up. And just like a log jam on a river, when the log jam finally moves, these trees that have fallen across the river blocking the flow finally start to move. At first it is slow. It is like a raft of stuff floating all together, this jam up of energies, stuck energies. At first it is a slow floating down, and there are other little things that jam up along the way for a moment or two, and then the great flow of the river that has been freed breaks up those smaller jams as well. And this is the period we are in, dear ones. The stuck energies have been shaken loose, and they are moving, and the flow, the real flow of life energies, of life affirming energies, abundance systems that support your dreams, not just the greed of a few. And dear ones, this is happening before your very eyes, and since it is so slow, many have not noticed it. Many do not understand that this is new. This world, this energetic field you are in is new. This golden age is truly moving forward. And dear ones, because of this, each of you has before you a decision to make. Will I be paying closer attention to this new world and how things are unfolding, and the light that I bring and the support that I bring? And am I going to add my energies to this? Or am I going to, for a time, continue to work with the old system, even though it is like, what is this in your scary movies? You call them zombies, these beings that are dead, but they are still moving, shuffling around. Your old systems are like a zombie, dead but still moving. They are shuffling, still going through the motions of the old. life that is behind. And so your decision, dear ones, is to either embrace this new time, look more deeply into these energies that are flowing, position yourself better to harness these new systems that are coming online, or you can, for a time, just be like the shuffling zombie, just continue to make your bill payments and your mortgage payments and wait for everything to come to light and to be discussed in the open. And there is no right or wrong answer with this, dear ones. You can feel into what your decision is, what you wish to do, and then, dear ones, the reason for this decision is, how am I going to manifest what my dreams are? How am I going to move forward into this golden age and really begin to earnestly build my dreams? Not just the little dreams, like I want to go to Disneyland this summer or something like this. No, dear ones, the big dreams. My entire life can be more on purpose. I could even change my location, my career, anything to be more aligned with my soul mission here on this Gaia. And dear ones, energies are now coming into place that are in support of this. And the more that you reframe your life to be more in line with your soul mission, your greater self guiding you, that little whispering voice inside of you that knows right from wrong, what is for you and what is not for you. The more you align with this and make that decision more and more clearly and firmly, the more, dear ones, you will be building your dreams. This beautiful world, the way that you see that it could be, whether this is being in service to those around you, or at first just creating your base of operations or your workshop to build these beautiful creative things, or whatever it is. It is for you, dear ones, to decide whether it is time for you to take up your mantle, so to speak, really begin to align everything in your life with your soul mission. Dear ones, in order to do this, some of you will need to reevaluate, what is my soul mission? What am I here for? What is important these days? Those of you who have been so distracted with the old systems of lack, survival mode, so to speak, you can now take a deep breath and look around with fresh eyes and see, what is it that I wish to call into this beautiful world? What difference can I make? What am I truly here for? What have I been waiting for an opportunity to do? For many of you, it is helping others, healing others, putting an end to homelessness or poverty in some way. For many of you, it is being loving and kind, being that bright light in somebody's day, just being the smile at the supermarket that becomes contagious and creates smiles that spread out all over this beautiful Gaia. And dear ones, there is no right or wrong. There is no lesser or greater mission. It is just what resonates with you. So, for those of you who are just sort of surprised at this dragon announcement, so to speak, it is a time to increase your knowledge of these things of which we speak. It is a time to maybe peek under the hood at the systems that are operating in your corner of this Gaia right now. Are new technologies available? Is there some sort of change in the financial system? Are there new modalities of healing? Are there new cures for what we thought were incurable diseases? Is cancer really a death toll anymore? Are there ways for us to rise up out of dis-ease that are now very simple and plain and easy and do not require expensive pills and things like this. Dear ones, the world has shifted, so increase your knowledge, increase your understanding, and feel into these changes. Look beneath the hood, or pull back the covers, so to speak, to see that old dirty sock that was in your bed. Let us not go too far into this. Eh, Just take a fresh look, dear ones. This is a beautiful time. Many of you, the more you look, the more wide your eyes are going to get. You're going to see, oh my goodness, there are these new technologies. We do not need to use petroleum anymore. Why are we? There are these other beautiful clean energies. There are, my goodness, there are cures for all of these ailments that are simple. They just require a change to my diet, or an addition of some plant medicine or something beautiful that is so simple. And dear ones, these sorts of aha moments are waiting to be had for each of you. Take a fresh look at this world. This is the reading of today for you. We are preparing to enter into this winter solstice. And yes, dear ones, you have heard many cultures speak of how this is a time where the veil, quote unquote, becomes very thin, and messages from those who you think you may have lost may become clearer. Beautiful loved ones may appear in your dream time you have not seen since you felt that they had transitioned. And dear ones, the entire idea of transitioning will be changing, and lifespans increasing. So many beautiful possibilities for you if you choose them, if you claim them, dear ones. That is the key. So at this time, decide. Take a fresh look and decide what you will be claiming as your dreams, as your highest timeline, so to speak. The world you choose, the beautiful golden age that you choose, dear ones. Very good. We are now going to add to this a little bit of a blessing for those of you to look with fresh eyes without anxiety. Dear ones, change for some is unwelcomed. Some feel like change in the past has been scary or led to suffering or discomfort of some kind. And there are even some of you who look at angelic numbers and shy away from 555, which means positive change. Dear ones, this is a time where being afraid of change will not serve. Change can come with ease and grace. That does not have to happen abruptly. It is a time for you to decide how much change you are willing to embrace. And this is a blessing, so that any change, especially the positive change, but any change coming into your realities will not be too abrupt and will not cause fear and anxiety. Let us look with hope and optimism and positivity at the changes that are unfolding. This is why, dear ones, this dragon has been using this term golden age so often, for this is what humanity is choosing. We are all, those of us who consider themselves to be part of the human field, the human experience. And yes, this dragon includes himself in this. I am part of the human field. I am here working with humanity. All of us working with this human field have an opportunity to move to such a golden age. And it has begun, and we have passed the point of no return, for enough of you have demanded and claimed this golden age. So let us then have this blessing to face these changes with optimism, with positivity, enthusiasm, and that's such a beautiful world, filled with spirit, enthusia, being filled with the spirit of the divine. Dear ones, this is the time for this, to be filled with spirit, to be filled with joy and enthusiasm. Yes, positivity. Let us feel this. There has been a blessing that has come beneath these words, and it will now be amplified in silence. This is another dragon spark. Each of you is standing in your own column of divine light that goes from the core, the rainbow core of your Gaia, all the way up to the highest of the high realms. There is no up and down. This is a metaphor, dear ones. It is a spectrum of you. It is a continuum, you might say. There is a column of light that spans this entire continuum, that let us say that there is a golden, glittery, ember-like, glowing dragon spark that is coming from the second arc of consciousness. This is the domain of archangels, dear ones, so close to source. And this spark is coming down through this column of light. There is no up and down. It is a metaphor. It is fine, though. Humans love timelines and up and down. So it is coming to you, dear ones. Through this column of light, it looks like a glowing ember from a distant fire, but more golden, and it is sparkly, and it is descending to you, to your crown, your soul star chakra, you might say. And if you allow for this, you must give permission. This spark is a blessing for you, dear ones, to face change with optimism, enthusiasm, positivity, and to take any edge of anxiety or fear or feelings of unworthiness, to take the edge off of this for you, and help you to process those feelings appropriately, dear ones. Accept this dragon spark. Here it comes. And for those of you who have welcomed it into your field, it is now adding to the color of your aura. You're getting a little bit of a glittery, let us just say there is a sparkle to your aura if you have accepted this, that others who can read auras will be able to see. Try it out. Those of you who know beings who can look at colors and auras and all that, ask them if they see anything new. And, dear ones, it is almost certain they will say there is a sparkly energy. There is a golden, glimmery, shimmery, sparkly energy that has appeared in your aura. Very good. This is beautiful. It is time now for us to open up to any sorts of clarifications or understandings needed for all of these changes and things that are happening, and these new energies in the world, this golden age. What is a golden age? What let us not be specific about what is my soul mission, for that is not a group setting sort of thing. Let us just speak in general of what this energetic shift means to this entire gathering. Very good. And post any of your comments or questions in all uppercase, please.
I see Mark has a question. What is the chant I can use that will help me manifest fast on this energy?
Dear ones, chanting is but one way that you can use to reprogram your consciousness. Many gurus and teachers and guides will give what is called a mantra. And what is a mantra, dear ones? What are any rituals for? when you do something ritually over and over again, there has been one of you in the past who was ready to move beyond ritual, and this is beautiful for anyone who is ready to move more directly into working with these energies, who is truly ready. And those of you who are asking for chants and mantras and rituals, let us just look at what these do. We have spoken about how when someone learns to drive a car, they are programming their subconscious to work the pedals and the steering wheel and the gears and all of this. And dear ones, what you are doing is you are using repetitive conscious intention to program in your subconscious muscle memories, sort of an autopilot that can drive a car without conscious thought. You do not have to consciously think, I'm going to press my foot on the gas pedal, or I am going to now move my foot over onto the brake pedal, for something might be coming that might dart out into the road. And you do not think these things anymore. They have been installed like a program that is running sort of like in the background. There is no computer and there is no foreground and background. It is just levels of consciousness, dear ones. And your what you call your subconscious, more unconscious knowingness, let us say, is something that was programmed by repetition. This is the reason for mantras. This is the reason for rituals. This is the reason for any daily practice, is to ingrain a way of doing things into your beingness, into the deeper aspects of you. If you think of your consciousness as like an ocean, and there are waves on the surface and beautiful reflected light on the surface and things, and then if you are a diver, you can go down a little bit, and right near the waves, the water is still moving and churning quite a bit, and there's a lot of stuff floating around that has been stirred up by these waves on the surface. And the further down you go, the more the light becomes little beams and beautiful, let us say, effulgence of light from the surface, and things get calmer and calmer. And as you descend into the depths of the ocean, even the light itself is dimmer and may disappear altogether if you go very deep. It is like dropping out of the kingdom of thingdom into the great within your own conscious ocean. And dear ones, if we think of this metaphor, when you are taking something that is a new habit, let us say, and putting it down into your consciousness, it is like taking it out of the churning surface of the ocean and bringing it down into the quiet depths where it is accessible and safe and not subject to all the churning on the surface. And so, dear ones, rituals have their place. Mantras have their place. If you wish to have a chant that helps you to manifest your dreams, dear one, there are a few that are very effective. The first is, I choose the world where. Get used to saying this, dear ones. This is a very potent affirmation, mantra, whatever you wish to say, statement to the universe. I choose the world where this golden age unfolds. I choose the world where I am supported in my dreams. I choose the world where my dreams begin to come more and more effortlessly, and they are supported by unseen, invisible, so-called synchronicities. Simply put, I choose the world where my higher, greater self does most of the work behind the scenes to line up what is my highest timeline, my greatest good, my mission. Dear ones, I choose the world where. These words are very potent, and let us just say, when you instill the habit of this, it becomes somewhat unconscious or subconscious, like you're driving, you begin to just operate with this as your reality. I am choosing the world where I am choosing this world, my world, the world that I have come to explore and grow in and play with and improve and be of service and you see what I mean. So, dear ones, that is a quote unquote chant, if you wish. Make sure that you always feel the words. Do not ever become a robot simply saying the same phrase over and over again and without feeling. As soon as you have lost the feeling aspect of this, it becomes pointless, even counterproductive. For if you simply chant words over and over again with no feeling, you are taking power away from them. For it is your heart and your feelings that greatly amplify anything. Dear ones, perhaps too much emphasis has been put on chakras. My crown chakra is for this function. My heart chakra is for this function. My sacral chakra is for this function. Dear ones, this is a throwback to times where doctors and scientists would take out their scalpels and try to separate things and dissect things in order to understand each of the parts and pieces so that they could get an understanding of how they all work together as a puzzle. And the problem with this, dear ones, is that so often, once the scalpel comes out, the understanding is not completed by reassembling it back into a whole. And this is the same with your chakras. The more you focus on, oh, I need to drop into my heart, or I need to use my third eye and my inner vision, or I need to talk to my greater self through my crown chakra, or the more you do this, dear ones, you are dissecting yourself, and all of your chakras need to work together always. Every one of them needs to work like a symphony, like they are different instruments in a beautiful symphony, and any one instrument that is missing changes the symphony, and any that is not in time with the others makes a terrible sound, and people grimace, oh, that wasn't part of the song. And dear ones, just know that separating different parts of yourself is only useful to gain an understanding of your own capabilities. Always, if you can, work with a unity of self, a fullness of being, let us say. Unite your chakras. When you intend something, like intending a little dragon that is being forced out of your throat. When you intend something, what is this word intend? Tendency, like a habit or something we are doing. We are putting it within ourselves. We are intending, and it is shining through all of your centers. It is shining through your sense of purpose in your solar plexus. It is shining through your creativity in your sacral chakra. It is shining through your voice and your intention through your throat chakra. Through your feeling the beauty of this intention in your heart. You're seeing beautiful futures or visions of what this is in your inner sight, in your third eye. Dear ones, all of your chakras should be online at all times for your manifestations to be complete, for your dreams to be built. Dear ones, do not try to dissect yourself in this way. So make sure there is feeling, make sure there is inner vision, make sure that it is resonating in every iota of your beingness when you say, I choose the world where, and then you fill in the rest. I hope this helps.
Thank you. Um, Nyambura, what does it mean to anchor light?
Dear ones, anchoring light. It is more of a concept than it is a thing, for The anchor itself is light. The chain is light. That which the light is anchored to is light. There is aught but light, dear ones. So, anchoring light could be a metaphor of your own, saying, I am choosing light. It is central to me, light. And yes, dear ones, I am the light. There is probably no greater anchoring, so to speak, than this, claiming the light as you, and that you are of this light. And it is the same. You can let this light also signify love. I am the love. I am the light. Light and love are one. And dear ones, this anchoring idea, when you wish to anchor something within you, simply claim it fully. As we spoke, claim it with your feeling, with your inner vision, with your voice, with your every part of your beingness, dear ones. Claim it. And this is anchoring. When you say, I choose the world where, or I choose to be, there is another beautiful, powerful statement. I choose to be the light. I choose to be loving, kind, optimistic. I choose to be. Dear ones, notice there is a common theme here. I choose. This is making a decision. This was the first thing mentioned in this reading today. I choose to be. I choose the world where. This is how you anchor, dear ones, by claiming this beingness, claiming this aspect of you, dear ones. We will now just select something from the group. Your Stephanie has gone for a snack or something. Tesla said everything is energy. Is energy the same regardless of all labels placed on them? As is there only one energy? Dear ones, every question asked of this dragon is always picked apart. And this question has the word energy so many times in it, it is obvious that there is, let us say, a question about the nature of energy itself. What is energy? Your Nikola Tesla was tapping into and is tapping into. Your Nikola Tesla has not vanished from reality, let us say. We are not saying he is living and breathing in a body on this world right now. However, that is possible. We will not reveal anything about where he has gone and what he is doing right now. However, your Nikola Tesla is still with you in many ways and is guiding humanity in so many ways. Saying, I believe he said more, everything is resonance, frequency, and yes, it was vibration, frequency, and resonance, I believe was, your Nikola Tesla can clarify any of this right now even. However, it is important to understand that energy is there is not the correct word. You can simply say energy is. Even the word is and I am is primal energy. There is. Do you notice we say this so often? It is in so many sentences. Is, am, are. It is. Energy is. And what is? Well, dear ones, that is a question. What is? Well, that is. I am that I am. The word that, does it not say a thing. It says a thing or a state or a beingness or a spirit, even, or an object, or a state of being, even a world, even a universe, even a cosmos can be a that. And I am that I am. Dear ones, there is not a word that comes out of this Stephen's mouth through this dragon that is not energy. It is all energy. Energy is. What is energy? Is energy the same regardless of all the labels placed on them? Dear ones, energy being that energy is all there is and all, and we are going into a maze of words here. Being that anything, anyone, any concept, any thought, any feeling is energy, then you can say that there is only one energy, and you can also say that this energy is expressed in multiplicity, in dimensional realities, and many different dimensions. And it is both, dear ones. Energy is one, and energy is everything and everywhere and every thought and every dream. You can even take the word spirit and substitute it for energy, and it means the same thing. Spirit is everywhere. Spirit is everything. Spirit is the thought behind the thought, the breath behind the breath. This is all energy, dear ones. It does not necessarily need to be moving energy. We can go into the classroom of energy and speak of different states of energy and pick it all apart and get out the scalpel and dissect it, as we said. We will not do this. We will just say yes and yes and yes and yes. Energy is everything. Energy is the same regardless of all labels. There is only one energy, and there are many energies. Yes and yes and yes. Do we have any further questions for this, or thoughts or clarifications for this session? Here comes a beautiful question.
Okay. I see University of Lisle has a question. If struggling to make bill payments to dying zombie way is researching for new financial systems enough to do or to go back to job simultaneously, or depends on your choice belief, a blessing in relation.
Dear ones, we understand the core of this question is if the current financial situation is just a zombie that is still moving, should I just drop it right now and start moving towards this other system? This is for each of you to navigate, dear ones. There are some who are so invested in the old ways that they will still show up and take your house away from you if you stop making payments. And then it would be for you to delve into and challenge whether that is even legal anymore. And maybe you might be one of the brave first ones to risk having your home taken from you by challenging in court whether or not it is even legal anymore with this new system of financial transactions, whether or not this is even the way anymore. And you might be one of the early ones who busts that system. However, this is biting off a lot to chew, let us say. And there are many of you who need to undergo your own change, your own adjustment to these changes. And Be good with yourselves, dear ones. Be gentle with yourselves. Do this with ease and grace, struggling to make bill payments right now. It sounds like it's very tempting to just say, well, screw the bills and I'm going to stop making payments. Before you do this, dear ones, look into the reality of the situation in your neighborhood, in your neck of the woods, so to speak. What is happening? What awarenesses are dawning on those who are still using the old systems? Are things moving quickly in my society, or are they still stratified and ossified, you might say, firmed into stone from the old ways? There is much momentum, dear ones, when you stop putting your foot on the gas pedal and you have not applied the brakes yet. There is momentum. The inertia of the forward motion of your vehicle still carries much energy. And were you to collide with a tree, even though your foot is no longer on the gas pedal, it would still be a terrible collision. And so there is a need for shifting. Is it time for you to pump the brakes? Is it time for you to take a closer look at what is happening in your area and decide for you what the proper response is? Mm, mm, Dear ones, let us do this, make this transition with grace, not too terribly abruptly unless you are one of the brave few. There could be a Joan of Arc out there who is willing to draw the sword and run into the fray, so to speak. And yes, dear ones, your Joan of Arc did change the world for the better. And yes, she was burned at the stake for this. So be careful how abruptly you wish to do things. It could be a bumpy ride, so to speak. So it is for you to decide how you are going to make this transition. Are you going to keep making these bill payments for a little while and start looking into what this new future means, and perhaps starting to call in dreams around these bill payments? Or maybe you are finding a hybrid path of let me try these new means of manifesting abundance for myself, to call in a windfall of money, to intend deeply with feeling in all of the what we discussed, call in the world where you get this sudden windfall of, say, thousands of your units of currency, and this gives you a stepping stone with ease and grace to move into this new system, to get the struggling bill payments off your back for now, so that you have the breathing space to look forward into the future. Use your creativity, dear ones. Be smart, be wise. Try not to run out of heating elements during the winter and all of this while these changes are happening. It is not a one size fits all. Always the first step is awareness. The more you are aware of what is happening beneath the surface, so to speak, the more you are in a position to better respond, not react, but respond, to create a beautiful response. And it is creative, dear ones. Your response is always a creative force that is building something new, rather than reacting to what is coming at you. So work with that energy. Educate yourself, increase your knowledge, increase your awareness, increase your understanding, and let it become reality. Let it become realization as it should for you. And hopefully this is not too vague for you. It may be appropriate for you to continue your bill payments until you have better negotiated these changes, dear ones.
RC Nazi is asking, could you please bless the union of twin flame on Earth?
Dear one, the union of twin flame is always blessed. It does not need a blessing. Perhaps this is your own desire to bless it within yourself. Perhaps you do not feel worthy of your twin flame. Perhaps you feel separate from or separated from, as if some force is keeping your twin flame from you. Dear one, when you are ready, simply call out. Stephen is wondering if sharing our story is appropriate with.
Yes, you can share a story.
Very good. Your Stephen and your Stephanie are in agreement that we are ready to share a little more about how we met. The both your Stephen and your Stephanie were in a state where they were ready to call in their love, their great love. Yes, twin flame energy, whatever you wish to say, their soul's love. And your Stephen was babysitting this thing called a stargate. It is a geometrical, beautiful device, we will call it, about 10 feet tall. And he was sleeping inside of this stargate where many people were only lucky enough to get in it to meditate for a few moments during intensives and gatherings of people where they needed to share this and explore it together. Well, Stephen was the caretaker of this stargate for days and days, and so he was sleeping in the stargate, and the being that oversees this stargate was starting to speak to him and through him, and he asked, "How can I find my soul's love? How can I call in this love? I am ready for this." And the voice came and said, "It is very simple. You just reach out and open yourself up and say, 'Soul's love, mine, come to me.' It is very simple. You just align yourself with this." And so in this stargate, your Stephen called out to his soul's love. Unbeknownst to him, there was another, this beautiful Stephanie, and she was going through the same process of ready to call in love, call in her soul's love, and calling with some focus and attention to the cosmos, to the greater beingness, to spirit. Send me my love. And dear ones, magic happened in that very moment. Stephen's phone went berserk. It was outside of the Stargate, and we won't go too deeply into all the things that happened, but beautiful magic happened. And in that moment, they were connected, and they had no one in common. Both of them were aware of the Stargate and had worked with the Stargate energies, and both of them had called in their soul's love, and now they are sitting right next to each other. They have built a beautiful life together and a nest together, and they are deeply in love. And dear ones, this is how it works. When you are ready, just call out. You do not need an external dragon to bless you from above. You do not need to cast a spell on someone or give them a love potion or whatever it is. No, dear ones, it is your own soul being ready and calling out. And if it is correct and the timing is right, the other will answer, and it will, there's nothing more really needed. It will just occur. It is so beautiful when beings align in such a way, and this too is how your dreams are built. You just call out for them. You see them. You feel the need for this. You understand the beauty that the world would have if this were to come to pass. And you simply call out to the divine, to the cosmos, to your greater being. I am ready for this. I call it to me. So hopefully that in itself is a blessing, dear one.
I see Mike has a question. How can we open up to receive more so we can put ourselves at the top of the money changing paradigm? I know we are the founding ones, but I fear I am in my own way.
Dear ones, this is a beautiful question, for it does shed light on the main challenge, being in your own way. Mm, so let us look at this question, how to open up to receiving so that we can put ourselves at the top of this change and usher in this change. Become one of the founding ones, yes. But am I in my own way? And all of this question has the whole thing in it right there. Opening up is what is needed. Opening up. And how do we open up? By getting out of our own way, so to speak. So there can be there can be layers to this. You can have feelings of not being worthy. You can have ancestral agreements. One of the most prevalent, let us say, challenges is ancestral issues with money. For you have not only from your own parents and grandparents and upbringing, but also in your very DNA, in your very ancestral encodings, this relationship with money. And for many of you, along the way, this relationship was tainted. Let us just say that money became synonymous with evil or naughtiness or greed, or that money itself, there is something wrong with it. And so long as you carry this energetic, even a new golden age where money has been purified and made more, let us say, in full integrity and transparency and justice and all of this fairness, even if it is safeguarded to be thus, if you are carrying this core feeling that money, there is something wrong with money. Money is evil. Wanting money is bad. If you have any of this in you, you are in your own way, as you say. And the word fear is also in your question. For what is the only energy that can, for a time, block love and flow in abundance? That is the one energy, fear. Fear and being in my own way in the same part of that sentence is no coincidence. So if you fear some aspect of having this money, if you fear that you might use it inappropriately, you fear it might swell up your ego, you fear that in order to gain large amounts of money you have to become dishonest in some way or deceptive, or as long as you are carrying these energetics that there is something wrong with money itself, money will elude you and you will have trouble with this. So how do we deal with this? Well, dear ones, anything that is encoded in you, in your beingness, was from a choice, a decision made by a connected lifetime, connected to you somehow. And this is all the way things work, that these connected lifetimes often carry energies that are present with you in this lifetime, since the connection is strong. And dear ones, because this was made by a choice, by a decision, to choose to listen to some preacher somewhere saying money is the root of all evil, and not question that, not look deeper into it to realize that no, it is the intention behind the use of money that can be evil. It is the intention to pile up or amass a greedy bundle to the exclusion of others and not be charitable to those around you that is evil. Dear ones, it is not the money. There is nothing wrong with, especially the money. There have been systems in your recent past where the money was invented and, as we said earlier, entered into a computer screen and just created out of nothingness. And even that has absolutely nothing wrong with it, so long as can be created for everyone as needed out of nothingness. This is actually very close to the truth of abundance, that abundance can appear seemingly out of nothingness for everyone. And that is the key. It was being used inappropriately, that only the banks were able to do this. Only certain financial investors were able to benefit from this, and to the exclusion of everyone else, and watering down the value of all of the rest of the money supply. So this was what was inappropriate. The money itself was never inappropriate. It's how it is used, dear ones. So step one, deprogram yourself from this thought that money itself is evil. There is nothing wrong. It is energy, as we spoke before. All is energy, and it is best when it flows, not when it accumulates in one person's bank account, not when it is hoarded. No, dear ones, it is best when it flows. And, dear ones, so long as you can clear for yourself this idea that money is evil, this is where most of the blockages will be removed. And how do we do this? It is a simple choice, dear ones. Look at money. If you have never really looked at what it is and how it works and what it is for, then now is a good time to take a very close look at it and to understand and ask yourself the question, is money itself evil or wrong or bad? And once you have answered that for yourself, you will find a blockage removed. And this is only one blockage. There are many we can speak of. So, in general, the opening up is the way. You have this already in your question, opening up to the flow of abundance and realizing what is the true source of abundance? Is it from a bank? Is it from a government institution? Is it from even a currency? Or is it like what I see outside, where the birds are eating and flying and living and not worrying about anything? There is abundant food for them. They just know where to fly at certain appropriate times of the year to gather their food. And there is abundance everywhere. It does not come from institutions or banks. It comes from source. It comes from your own greater beingness. Therefore, you have the divine right to call it in. And yes, getting out of your own way is the trick. We will work on this a little more in the days to come.
Leslie Lightquista has a question. Hi, Jadon Se. Can we just relax and trust that the energies will align for our highest, greatest good, please?
Dear one, there is a misunderstanding in this question. There is a beautiful and deep wisdom in it, and there is also a misunderstanding. For when you just relax and trust, what is it that you are doing? Are you just relaxing into what? What are you calling in? Are you calling in anything? Are you just giving yourself up to eternity? And so, the understanding of this question, if it were complete, would not even be posed to the group here. If you truly can just relax and trust that the energies will align for your highest good, then perhaps you would not even be on this gathering right now. And let us just look at what we mean by all of this. For the reason this is being said as there is a misunderstanding in here is because trusting the universe, trusting in the good of spirit is beautiful, and it is the way. And it is for you to identify your dreams. You are here in this realm in this region of reality, this realm, to explore your soul mission on some level. And how do we do this? And why would we want to do this? Why would I even come to such a place? Have you asked yourself this, dear one? If you are just trusting and relaxing and letting your energies align, what are you doing here? Why are you here? And what is your greatest good? Do you just trust that some other part of your beingness is going to choose your greatest good for you, and then it is complete? Well, dear ones, if this understanding were complete, you would be in a ball of light. You would not be here in this human form asking this question to this group. And it is also a wise and beautiful question, for it points towards and is helpful for an understanding that can come to all who are listening to this, that yes, trusting that energies will align for your greatest good once you have called them in. And it is for you to identify your particular dreams and soul mission here. It is not simply dictated from the realms of eternity. It does not just force a being into a world like this to explore the story of you here without some part of you being the one who chooses how this story unfolds, or at least in some way identifies your goals and mission here. So the fact that you are standing here means that it is something that you can trust. You can trust that you are here to be able to dream, to build your dreams, to play out this beautiful story, to live out this story, and for this story to be grand and expand eternity because of you. The little you, even, the you that is here, the character in this story. So let us just, since we're speaking of stories, let us go to some beautiful novelist who is making a story somewhere, and in this case, she creates a character. She decides that this character has this backstory and has this an antagonist and a protagonist. She is the protagonist. There is an antagonist, and there is something standing in the way. There's a hero's journey that's going to happen, and all of this, dear ones. So, does this author then just make up the whole story without even dropping into the character for a moment? Does this author just dryly write out the script of this story without for a moment becoming that character? Does the author not feel what the character has to see and experience? Does the author not dream into what it is like to be that character? And does that character not then make decisions from the level of the character that play out the story? There is your answer, dear ones. Yes, trust that the energies will align for your greatest good, and that they have aligned for you to be here to identify your dreams, to identify your soul mission, to face the challenges that you are here to face, to have the adventures that you are here to undertake. Do you not see this? It is for you, dear one. You can trust in the alignment with these energies. You can trust in the support given in the world that is created for it. You can trust it, yes, and the energies will align the more you trust. And it is for you to decide, dear one. If you simply just go with the flow and forget who you are completely, and you will just disappear in a ball of light, and you will no longer be in this story. If that is your goal, then go for it. Many of us are here with other reasons and other goals, and we are not just ready to disappear in a ball of light. Hopefully this helps. Yes, money is energy and what one makes of it. Yes, dear ones. This can be said of so many things, not just the money. It can be said of your own creativity, your own passion, your own love. What is the point of having a beautiful little kitten on your lap and playing with it and petting it? And what is the point of this if we are not in love with the moment of it? And as you do this, dear ones, you are tapping into the very same energy that money is. It is just flowing through. When the kitten is in your lap and you're petting this beautiful kitten and it's looking at you with its adorable eyes, and there is a flow of energy moving through that entire situation. And this is the same thing, dear one. That flow of energy can be seen as money. It can be seen as destiny, technology. It can be seen as adventure. It can be seen as humor. It can be seen as beautiful creativity, artwork. And it can be seen as music. You can, dear ones, every experience enriches eternity. And it is for you to decide how you are going to be enriching your little corner of eternity, so to speak. And yes, dear ones, money helps. It is just, it is like sunlight or whatever. It is just an energy that can be put to use, let us say, and it is changing. It is becoming more transparent, and let us not focus overly much on the financial systems. Let us just say that the rules of this world have changed, and therefore reality has changed. And those of us who are willing to embrace this and work with it are the ones who will be ushering in the golden age. It is as simple as that. Beautiful. Loving life. Yes, dear one. This is the point. This is the point, is it not? Loving life. Yes. Trust to that, and you are trusting wisely indeed. Dear one, you are a wise one. The question is wise. And your thoughts are helpful to many here. What are your thoughts on the concept of getting paid to exist? Dear ones, let us move beyond getting paid and paying for. Let us move beyond this. If there is a simple exchange that happens beneath the surface, so to speak, and recompense of payment is part of that, so be it. Let us not focus on it. The point of all of this is not to be paid or to pay someone. No, that is just a flow. It is just an exchange. And let us not, when you go into, say, a beautiful store and you are buying a loved one a birthday gift, and you know that she has been wanting this beautiful necklace for a long time, and some artist put beautiful energy into this necklace, and the symbols are beautiful, and there is so much happening that is just beauty. It is so amazing, and you know that this loved one will be happy with this birthday gift, and you know that the artist that created this will be happy that it went to the right person to appreciate it. And the store and the exchange of money were just a means for that artist to let their necklace find their way onto the correct person's neck, let us say. It is not important to focus on the transaction, for that beautiful, cherished necklace will be in that person's collection for the rest of their life, perhaps, and will be a cherished item, and a beautiful birthday gift in memory of their birthday. And all of this, we do not need to focus on the fact that money was even involved, do we? This is the energetic that we are moving into. These systems have been so important to us because they have been used against us, to create fear and subtle slavery and all of this. That is dropping away, and therefore it is simply just a flow. It is just an exchange that happens beneath the surface, not important. So let us not focus overly much on it, getting paid to exist. This belittles your own sense of self, does it not? It is like a husband and a wife having some sort of discussion, and say that he is a messy one and she is a very clean one, and throughout their entire marriage she has been tidying up the kitchen, doing these beautiful dishes and laundry, and just lovingly keeping the house clean, and he has not done so much on that level. And then imagine they have this discussion where she says, well, I've been doing all of this cleaning for all these years, and if we just say we were going to pay me $20 an hour to do all of this, that means you owe me $2.3 million, because that's how many hours of time have gone into cleaning the. Do you see how this would damage their relationship, belittle their life, belittle their beautiful relationship, their life together, their home, their nest? It makes it trivial and strange. And let us just not focus too much on the money. How much are we loved by the unseen? Dear ones, there is a question. And each of you must feel into the answer for yourselves. The unseen, I believe that was a typo. I don't think uncern was what you meant. We're not talking about the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. That has a C on it. I believe it is unseen. How much are we loved by the unseen? And dear ones, you are love, and the unseen is love, and there is such a flow of love. Every cell in your body is divided through the power of love. Every breath has oxygen created into energy for your cells by the force of love. Every hair that grows on your head, growing through love. Every twinkle and sparkle in your eye, love. We can go on and on. This is only what is seen, and your question is unseen. Let us just say, for every bit of love that is seen and felt in your experience, let us say that it is the tip of the iceberg is not even the correct metaphor here. It is like the top cell of a whale's body. It's like one little tiny speck on the top of a whale's body. So much beneath the surface that is unseen. Dear ones, you are loved, cherished, and supported by every, let us just call them ancestor you've ever had. Every angel has ever helped you. We can go on and on and on. There is more love than you can possibly experience in this moment of now from where you stand. It is all. If you were to experience all of the love from the unseen, all in a single moment, you again would turn into a ball of light and just vanish into bliss, and it would be beautiful. Just know that you are love, you are loved, and you are celebrated. Every moment of your life is celebrated in the halls of eternity. You are a beautiful being beyond measure. All of you, each and every one of you, is so loved that if you were to know this, you would just melt. And this is a beautiful place for us to end this. It occurs to this your Stephen now and to this dragon that we did not shout out where we were from, so we will end this now by shouting out, where in the world are you right now? And let us feel that. Let us feel the energy of this gathering from the global standpoint and from Gaia's love. Yes, dear ones, shout it out. Where in the world are you right now? Please, shout it out. Yes, dear ones. We are waiting for you to shout out where you are from. We know where some of you are from, but we do not wish to spoil the surprise of this. So, is there a problem with this chat? It is there's nothing is happening. You are supposed to be shouting out where you are. There we are. Price, Utah. We are in Price, Utah now. Where else in the world are we right now? Is this how we wish to say goodbye to each other? Only Price, Utah. There we are. Anatolia, Turkey. We have Lake Nacimiento, California, down near San Luis Obispo. We have South Africa. We have Holland. We have London, England, Belgium, Holdenburg. Your Barno is moving around Belgium a lot. Beautiful energies. Tell us, where are you right now? Niambura, you are in Africa. We know this. And it is Nairobi, Kenya is in the house. We have Canada in the house. Cape Town, South Africa. Ardmore, Oklahoma. Beautiful energies. Do you feel this, dear ones? Thank you all for joining us on this Wednesday, and hopefully this is a blessing for you. All of this, share these wonderful experiences that you have. North Bend, Oregon, Los Angeles in the house. Beautiful, dear ones. We will say goodbye at this time, and we look forward to speaking with you. If you know of anyone who wishes to take a 2-hour class tomorrow, there are still spots available on your New Earth One network for the Dragon Energies intro class. If you know anyone who wishes to take that 2-hour class tomorrow afternoon in your 3 o'clock in your Pacific time, please have them sign up. We welcome you, and this is where this dragon will be appearing next. Otherwise, we will see you on Saturday. Be blessed.